What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm going to be making today is going to be a taco sauce. I call it taco sauce. I call it red sauce. It goes by a bunch of different names. Anyway, I've done a few taco videos and said that I was going to get around to doing this recipe, so here it is. Very simple, very few ingredients to go with this. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I've seen that they have a recipe on the back of this bag. Anyway, what I'm going to be using is some extra hot New Mexico red chili peppers. I have some garlic, some pepper, cumin, and salt. Sometimes I'll add oregano, sometimes I'll add cilantro, but this is going to be the base sauce right here. We're going to be boiling these today. I do have a variation where I actually roast them and then boil them. That'll be maybe down the road. Anyway, have some water here. Have our red chili peppers. Let's go ahead and open up our bag. So basically all they look like are red chili peppers. First thing I'm going to do is remove the stem. I cook mine with the seeds in it because we're going to strain it down the road. Some people take the seeds out, and to me that seems to be a little redundant. So we're just going to go ahead and pop off this top, throw the peppers in. Seeds and all. And I'm making a small batch. It may be a large batch for the average family, but we will knock this out. Trust me on that. I will have a recipe in the description that I use as a guide. I don't necessarily follow that recipe, but it does have all the elements of this. I change it up all the time. Sometimes I have a little garlic in it, sometimes I've got a lot, sometimes I have none. Alright, so we have our peppers in here. Another variation with our garlic is sometimes I will roast this and kind of have it as a paste and add it near the end. Since we're going to be doing a simple recipe, I'm just going to go ahead and add the garlic in here now. And when we cook that, it's going to be real soft. As far as the seasonings go, the pepper, the cumin, the salt, we're going to go ahead and add that a little bit down the road, so we're going to set that aside. What I'm going to do, let me add a couple more peppers in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on this because you want a little bit of that steam action going on in there. And the peppers are, you know, submerged, but there's not a whole bunch of water in there. What we're going to do is throw this on the stove, and we are going to simmer it kind of low. We're going to bring it to a boil, bring it down to a simmer, and I'm going to let this go for about 30 to 40 minutes to ensure that the garlic and the peppers are softened. I'll see you back when that's done. So we got these peppers cooked down, simmered for about 30 minutes. Now what I've found is if I cook these and I just boil them straight up, a lot of times it seems to have a bitter taste to them. That's why I said kind of cook it a little low. Now we're going to go ahead and add these peppers to our blender. And we're going to pick out all the garlic and everything that's in there as well. I think that's it. Maybe one more. I'm going to hit it with some of this water that we was cooking in. Now here's where you can kind of get creative. If you want a thinner sauce, obviously use more water than, add as much water to thin it out as you'd like. As far as these seasonings go, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And that's the one thing I like about making these sauces when you're not following a recipe. Give you a nice little change every time you do it. I'm going with a little bit more black pepper in this one than I normally do. This here is kosher salt, but my box started leaking and stuff was spilling all in my cabinet, so let's go ahead and add some of that in. Now we're just going to blend it, and we'll take a look at the consistency when it's done getting blended, and we'll either add liquid. If we need to reduce it, we could always throw it back on the stove and reduce it. So that's all blended up. Looking at it, I think I'm fine with that consistency. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take an empty pot, a strainer, and we're just going to run this through the strainer. That's going to get rid of any of the husk that was left on the peppers as well as the seeds. So we're just going to throw that in. And just dropped a little something on the floor. Now we're just going to use our tongs and kind of run everything through this strainer. Now that we have everything ran through the strainer, just set this on here for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and taste it just to see how we're looking. That needs nothing. Anyway, I'm going to set this aside, see if it thickens up. I may need to thin it out a little bit. Once it cools down, we'll bottle it up, and I'm going to use this in a new recipe that I'm trying out. Not new to the world. I'm sure somebody's tried it, but I'm going to be making some fried steak tacos. I'm going to be using ribeye steaks. You know what? When I get that video done, I'm going to go ahead and leave link in the iCard above. Check that video out. Anyway, let's finish this up. After we've had a chance to let this cool down for about 30 minutes, we're going to go ahead and bottle this up. And I might have a little bit more than a bottle worth. I was going for a bottle, but I think I overshot it by just a little bit. This is a wrap. Looks like we made about 1.25 bottles of this. As cheap as that stuff was to make, that whole bag of chili peppers was $2.50. I probably used 15 cents worth of garlic, nominal amounts of other seasoning. So hook this up if you like taco sauce or any of those red kind of sauces. As far as the taste test goes, we're going old school on it. We're just going to be going bang straight to the hand. Anyway, I love this stuff. Now, this stuff is a bomb. Other variations you can make, add a hint of vinegar if you want a little bit of that to it. But I mean, this is the basic red sauce. Use your creativity and take this in an entirely different direction if you want. Anyway, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.